Hi, I'm Hale.
And I'm Alex, and we're going to do our top 5 favorite book series.
So I'm going to go first, and unfortunately one of my top 5 favorite book series is not here today. It's at my house. So I'm just going to go without it today. This book series, is Partials by Dan Wells. It is followed by Fragments and Ruins. Really, it's just an excellent series overall. It's a science dystopian novel. It's like a great combination of the two. Like, there's a ton of science in it, which I love. And it's really underrated too, so I don't know anyone who's read it, so if you have read it, let me know because we can fangirl together. Because I've never fangirled with anyone over it. I've just been able to be like, yo, this book is really good. Read it, but no one's read it. Anyways, basically it's set in the future and the humans have these superhuman machine things that they've created. And these superhuman machine things have more feelings than the humans intended them to have, so they go ahead and slaughter the human race, because what else would you do? And at the same time,
logically,
the humans have this disease now, where every child born just straight up dies. So there's no chance of reproduction, at the same time they're getting hunted down by these partials. So our main character, Kira Walker, steps in, and she's basically got to save the human race, and that's what the series is about. It's a fantastic series.
My first series is The Kane Chronicles by Rick Riordan. Don't really know how to pronounce his last name, but that's okay. This is the first book, The Red Pyramid, and then there's The Throne of Fire and The Serpent's Shadow. And I think these are super underrated of his books. They follow Carter and Sadie Kane, and they're about Egyptian mythology. They really get overshadowed by Percy Jackson, except I think these are like 10 times better than Percy Jackson's. They're really well written, and Egyptian mythology is super cool. Like, there's a bunch of different things with all their gods that makes it way, way interesting. Definitely think it's a really, really good read.
Alright, my second series is The Winter's Curse Trilogy by Marie Rutkoski. I don't know how to pronounce names that well, so probably pronouncing a lot of these incorrectly, and I apologize ahead of time. Please don't yell at me. This series is basically about Kestrel, who's our main character, and her country has basically conquered this other country. And she goes to a slave auction and she buys a slave, not because she approves of slavery, but because she kind of pities him. And at the same time that she's struggling with herself for buying this slave, she's also struggling with her father because he wants her to be the soldier that she just isn't going to be. She wants to play the piano basically all the time. And so it's about her struggles through life, especially as her world begins to crumble around her, as all these secrets come out, and as the country that they thought they'd conquered really turns out that they hadn't really conquered them after all.
I also really like that series, just didn't make the cut for me for this time. My next series is Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. It's really the first series that I accredit to really giving me that push to read all the time. I love these books. It's about our main character, Harry Potter, who is a wizard. He goes to Hogwarts and he has to defeat Voldemort. I think everyone pretty much knows the story at this point. If you haven't read them yet, definitely pick them up. Fantastic novels. The first one, a little boring in the beginning, but power through because the next 6 are fantastic. So these always hold a special place in my heart, and I love all of them.
I have not yet powered through that first book, but I will.
I advise you to, it's so good.
Yep. So my third series, which is actually Alex's third series as well, is The Raven Cycle by Maggie.
Stepavator. That's
Maggie
how I'm
S.
going to pronounce it.
Maggie S. wrote
Probably
this.
wrong. I apologize, Maggie.
The first book is The Raven Boys, and basically it's about this girl, Blue, who is the daughter of a psychic, and she lives in this house with all these psychics, so her home life's really strange. And she ends up befriending these popular boys over at this fancy prep school, Eglinby Academy. Don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Anyways, Gansey, who is one of these boys, has this quest to find this magical king, Glendower, and so it's about these 4 boys in blue. It's about their journey to find this king, and all these strange things start happening. And there's a ton of plot twists, and it's really great. Totally recommend it.
Definitely recommend it because it's such a great series, and it's set in the real world. It's set in Henrietta, Virginia, and they're dealing with all this like spiritual, like ley line energy. So it's like a really interesting read. Our next series, which we both share, is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Definitely love this series. It's about our main character, Feyre, and her world is divided into a human world and a fae world. So in the beginning, she shoots this high fae, and she is taken to this fae world. And so it's basically about her journey in the fae world and how this fae world is crumbling around her, how it's being hunted by someone else.
One last thing that I'd like to mention about this book is that it's also a fairy tale retelling of Beauty and the Beast. All the series is, except the last space, is really, really loosely based on Snow White. I would argue that there's not really many aspects at all in it, but it's still a fantastic book, and I totally recommend it. But one thing I'd like to mention is it's high fantasy, so if that's not your thing, don't read it, because you're probably going to hate it.
If you like these ones, we can also recommend her other series, Throne of Glass, which, not as good to us, but still great books.
This is my last series. It's not Alex's, because Alex is indecisive and can't make decisions.
I admit.
So this is the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer, and this is the first book, Cinder. These are all fairy tale retellings, and I love fairy tale retellings so much, I eat them up. So if you have any recommendations, please leave a comment below. This book is based on Cinderella, titled Cinder, so not really surprising there, and she's a cyborg, and it goes through the story of Cinderella, basically. But the thing that I really like in this series is that all 4 books are tied together by like a common story, so there's still like a story arc that goes through all of them, so they're not completely disconnected from one another.
This series is really well done with the tying together, because it's not even like all of our main characters in Scarlet, Cress, and Winter. They're the next books. They're not even all in the same general region of this new world, because it's set in the future, but they're still really well tied together, and the romance is also really great in these books. My next series, which I was accrediting as an honorable mention, which Haley says is not.
It's not.
It's not. Is I'm a little bit of ashamed of, but I don't really care. I'm at that point.
Embrace it.
Brownies and Broomsticks by Baileygates. It's part of the series of the Magical Baking Mysteries. There is 6 of them at this point, and the 7th one is coming out in November. It's about this girl, Katie Lightfoot. She's a baker in Savannah, Georgia, and she always gets tied up in some sort of murder. So she becomes like a detective, and the mysteries are really, really well written. And I'm always actually kind of surprised by the mysteries, which is kind of shocking. And the romance in these books, I adore the romance in these books. I really read them for the romance. And then my last book, because I just had to mention one of these series, is Clockwork Angel, or The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. I love all of her Shadowhunters novels, but this series really, really takes the cake for me. It's set in the 1800s in London, and it follows Tessa Gray and her entrance into the Shadowhunter world, and why is she so different in this Shadowhunter world. Really great series, and has really great plot twists, and you'll really love Will and Jem, because I adore them.
My bays too. I love that series as well. Didn't make the cut. For me, that one is my favorite out of all 3 of her series. So
The Infernal Devices is just really good.
She reached her peak then.
True.
Alright, so I believe that's it for this video. So hopefully you liked it. Like we said, if you have any recommendations, or you agree with us, disagree, leave
or
a
if
comment
you read
below.
the books that we mentioned that no one else reads,
That too.
please let us know,
Yeah.
because I don't ever see anyone reading those Magical Baking Mysteries, because they literally have like 400 ratings on Goodreads.
Yeah. I'd say leave a like, but like I don't know if you should because of the crappy editing. Again, we're sorry about that.
We're
get
getting
better
there.
eventually.
Follow us on social media. We have Instagram, Twitter, and
Goodreads.
That's the other one.
Yep. So that's it.
Bye.